Hola, and welcome to the Overly Animated podcast where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including OKKO, which we'll be getting into today. I'm your host, Alex Bonilla, and today I'm joined by Michelle Anderer.
Hello.
And Steve Zeck.
Yo.
Today we will be discussing the latest 5 episodes of OKKO, released via the Cartoon Network app, titled Special Delivery, Wisdom, Strength, and Charisma, Bittersweet Rivals, Are You Ready for Some Megafootball, and Mystery Sleepover. If you want to get our takes on previous OKKO episodes, you can find that and more at overlyanimated.com. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes at overlyanimated.com/iTunes, on YouTube at overlyanimated.com/YouTube, or on your preferred podcatcher and wherever you listen to us. We always appreciate any ratings or reviews you want to leave us. But, we've got these 5 episodes to talk about. I'd say a very interconnected group of episodes, kind of an anomaly for OKKO, for us to be talking like that.
I kind of thought before, thought the last 4 episodes were originally, they wrote it as part of a bomb, and the conclusion, we're going to get another date. Special Delivery, I think, was supposed to be separate, but I don't know.
Well, we can talk a little bit about that first in our general impressions. Like, how do we feel about OKKO doing an arc? Does it execute the story well? Is this something you'd like from OKKO in the future, or is this kind of a treat sort of thing? Yeah. And what stood out to you of these 5 episodes? Let's go to Michelle first. What are your opinions on this little bit of change here?
I think it's given this is our first legit 5. I mean, I'm assuming there's at least one more in this arc.
I'm assuming it's gonna get a half-hour special.
It's not over. Yeah, it's not over. So at least 5 episode question mark, maybe more arc. This is a very strong one for this show to start on. I mean, I've been checking social media, and it seems like overwhelmingly fans are just over the moon about this arc and think it's pretty awesome. And I'd have to agree. It's great to see Enid go out to Point Prep. We kind of got a little bit this was kind of set up for us before the arc even started, which I appreciate too. She'd already been considering maybe I'll go to Point Prep, even though I don't know if I want to be here. I don't know what I want to do, but maybe I will. And now it's happening, and it's such a refreshing change of pace and change of location. I was fascinated that I think one of the episodes KO wasn't in it at all, which, assuming we come from expectations that if a show's from a certain character's perspective, we'd never break that or find really sneaky ways to break it. But no, Elodie's just Enid's in this school doing her thing, and it's kind of her arc, and she's not the main character, and I think that's fascinating and encouraging, and I love it. So I'm very high on this slew of episodes, and that includes Special Delivery. I really like Special Delivery.
Me too.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I was really high on that episode, actually. So I hope we can talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm hopefully people misconstrue on the Discord that I didn't like Special Delivery. I'm just saying it should have aired separately from these episodes, and people got the idea I hated it. I liked that episode too. So
yeah, it's a solid episode.
Set the record straight. Yeah. I'm more complaining at Cartoon Network, not the show itself.
Well, see, what I find interesting is that I think Special Delivery is in a good place here because the rest of those 4 episodes focus a lot on Enid, trying to find herself, right? And Special Delivery, it also sets up a little bit of, Enid not really knowing where she is in her life. And, there's even the line, right? I'm a witch who maybe wants to be a hero, but is stuck at a convenience store.
Also wants to be a ninja, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, wants to be a ninja.
So identity crisis going on.
Yeah, so it's setting up that side of Enid again, her insecurities. That's been a recurring thing throughout the show. And also, it does a good job to, ramp back up the Enid-Rad dynamic, which I think we've been saying in past podcasts that has been sort of lacking recently. But, they ramp it back up with the Enid-Rad interaction, so that helps a lot when Rad and KO show up again later in the arc to, help her out, because you're reminded of the whole friendship thing. So I think while it's not a specific part of the arc per se, but I do think it's placed well with these 4 episodes in kind of a ramp-up sort of thing.
I think that's a good point. Yeah.
I think it's fine too, though. I wish we got the conclusion to this arc, because I think there's I predict we're probably going to get a half-hour special that's going to wrap this up. So
Look, you got to know how cliffhangers work, man. Like this is the way to keep you intrigued.
I'm very curious.
In correction, K.O. was in all these episodes, even in the Bittersweet Rivals, which when I guess he
because
physically wasn't in it.
Is that why? Oh, that's the one thing I thought. Maybe he was in the picture. Okay, barely just snuck in there.
Yeah,
that's almost cheating.
Yeah, it seems like cheating.
It's Enid's imagination.
Oh, and not to mention the beginning when she had that dream, and no, that's the other episode. Oh.
Yeah,
they do run together a little bit. That's the thing with this arc, but it's still fine because they're all great.
Okay, so
talking about that ending, like the main plotline of this episode. Oh, well, you went right ahead into special delivery. But fine. What are your general impressions?
I'll talk about the arcs. I just want to say, I'm fine with the arc. Interesting though. If we all remember the original Teen Titans, each season was an arc devoted to each character. I'm kind of wondering, is this just the beginning? If we're going to get a Rad arc down the line,
I'm sure we will.
Or I don't know who's left.
K.O.
He's the main character.
He's been having an arc, not like consistent 5 episodes in a row, but yeah, he's had an arc.
And I do have theory though. This might lead to something big with K.O. and K.O.'s story, but I guess we'll get to that later. But I like special delivery, man. That song is very catchy.
It makes you feel like you're in middle school again. That's what it is. It's so good though.
And I'm so relatable to Rad in terms of like sort of peer pressure, kind of getting the best of him with Enid's criticism. I'm like that with my friends sometimes, whether it's just music or with us, like our taste in cartoons. And it's, I'm with you, Rad. I understand how you feel, my friend.
Yeah, Rad spoke to me too this episode because I did have a friend like that in college who, like, our dynamic was basically just hanging out and like watching stuff together, but like our dynamic also consisted of a lot of like her like kind of like making fun of what I liked a lot, and I thought it was normal, but when I was watching this I was like, oh man, like it really sucks when your whole dynamic with someone is just them like making fun of everything you do.
I'm like that with my cousin. Same type of relationship with me, always trying to worry about his opinion of me, so it's relatable.
Yeah, it's relatable, and I'm glad they're talking about it and kind of exploring like what are the root causes for why Enid would do this. And it like makes sense. Yeah, it's like she's saying like it basically stems from her not having herself figured out. Which I think's like also very relatable in its own way.
She's a witch who wants to be a ninja, but kind of wants to be a hero.
Yeah,
but works at a convenience store.
And like they also do a good job, I think, of showing that why Rad puts up with it, because also like Enid has her fun moments with him too. Like they have the whole rocking out to the song scene, even as Enid initially was dissing it. So like it's a back and forth thing, but also we finally see Rad having enough of it. Yeah. So it's good. It's a good reminder of what makes Enid and Rad work together. I was just happy to see them together, actually doing stuff again, without K.O. because it'd been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sure we've ever seen them really hang out solo without K.O. in the picture for an episode, have we? Because K.O. is introduced to them in the store, and then he's just a character with them.
Yeah.
So
like maybe like second first dates, like you have the flashbacks, but that's about it.
Or the time they took advantage of being turned to skeleton to ditch work after that in the Let's Not Be Skeletons episode.
That's pretty brief though, but yeah, that could have been a moment.
Oh yeah, this is like their road trip episode together. So they're forced to be with each other.
And I'm thinking, watching this episode, I'm thinking Enid, she reminds me a little bit of Amethyst in a way, because I could totally see Amethyst treat one of the other characters the way Enid treat Rad in this episode.
And I think like it's a good decision to go with Enid for the first arc, because I do think that she's the character that we've gotten most to relate to, really. So like it's more fun to start with her as opposed to like a Rad arc where we express our differences in the past.
And Enid definitely has a lot more interesting supporting cast around her, like Red Action, like Elodie.
True.
And I know who does Rad have, like in terms of buddy.
I don't know.
That beefer guy, they keep doing cutaway gags too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. All right, so one guy. He's got one guy outside of his other two friends.
Needs to get some more interesting friends.
Yeah. Also the Megafootball baby, but like he's not interesting either. So.
He's just kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I love that. And that episode also had references to my favorite anime, Little Witch Academia. You probably guys don't know what the reference.
We know what. Well, we know. I mean, I know of the show,
but you don't know what it said. Luna Nova. That's a witch. That's the name of the school, and also also a reference to another Cartoon Network series, Mighty Magisword, which actually I could see them doing a crossover with, because I think those two worlds are very similar of just being goofy enough to work together.
And actually, I do believe Ian Jones-Quartey has mentioned in the past that there are other crossovers in the pipeline at some point. So that could be laying brick for something. I don't think Little Witch Academia is getting a crossover,
I know
but yeah, it's a good detail to throw in there.
Also, Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School got a reference to. Those are the three schools.
You know what also got a reference? Steven Universe, because there's a character named Koala Princess.
I noticed that.
And so that leads us to like going into the P.O.I.N.T prep itself. We'll talk about the story, but I guess we could talk a little bit about the characters first. We've gotten introduced to a lot of them. We got Sparko. We got reintroduced to Dr. Grayman and Foxtail. We have Chip Damage. We also have more of Elodie's classmates like Koala Princess and Miss Pastel. Anybody have a favorite? Well, we're going to keep Steve aside because I think I know his answer. But, Michelle first. Do you have a favorite out of these P.O.I.N.T prep cast here?
I really like Sparko, and I'm blanking on this other girl's name, but she was in like the Tough Clique, and she had cropped black hair, and she was just cool. She had kind of like a punk vibe.
I think I know her name. Queenie something.
Demon Queenie.
Demon Queenie.
Oh yeah, she has a great name too. I really liked her. We saw her for like 2 seconds,
and she's one of those.
She left an impression.
And she was one of those honor kids that was chosen to get this power up, so she could be a possible opponent in the finale of this arc.
Yeah, I like her. But also Sparko, just like, he's kind of eager and he's just like trying to do his best. And now he's like maybe in with this shady green magic glorb. But I still like him.
I like Sparko too, but I'm sorry to say I get a bad vibe from him. He reminds me too much of, like, if this was Scooby-Doo, he'd be the guy most likely to be like the villain because he's like, no, I'm just saying the first guy we meet, he telling all the exposition.
He's from Lakewood, and he's the only other one from her same district.
He's had self-esteem issues. It's I don't know.
I think he might be evil in that he's being preyed upon because I don't think he's evil when he's
pulling the strings.
I don't think he's evil when
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he might be the most likely to snap of all those kids. I'm just saying because he doesn't come from these hero family and stuff, so he might really want it more than anybody else. So, but I'm hoping I'm wrong because I like him too. I'm hopefully it's no kid villains, none of these brainwashed students. We can fix them at the end of this arc. So I do think though most likely I don't think Chip Damage is like the main villain. I think someone's pulling his strings. And it's probably a Stephen Org voiced character.
That's so specific.
Well, referring to Professor Venomous or Shadowy Figure.
Or Laser Blast.
I guess.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
They all just have that same, like, kind of appealing, like, sneaky man voice.
And they're all obsessed with these glorbs. So
that's true. That's the connection.
And a theory I just saw online, so I'm not going to say it's my own, but my theory is I think Chip is working for someone, but someone mentioned that maybe Chip is a robot.
Just he's kind of, the way he talks sometimes is a little odd, so I could see that.
Yeah. I guess we got to go into like motives. Like, what reason do we have exactly for? Is it just to boost the reputation of the school? Is there something more sinister going on?
If it's Laser Blast behind it, motivation should be obvious in terms of Laser Blasts. He might have a bone to pick with P.O.I.N.T. And Professor Venomous, as I mentioned in the past, he has one to get P.O.I.N.T. as well. So, and Cherry figure, who knows with him. So they all could be the same person. So.
I'm gonna be mad if they're all literally the same person.
I think most likely Venomous is a separate person from the other two.
Yeah, Professor Venomous is just doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the revenge angle is a good one too. It's also like considering we have Dr. Grayman hanging around here. He's the guy who lost his powers to that related stuff.
And never know. Maybe Skull could be a plan so to have Enid have her enroll in the school, like, you know, Chip had her enroll in the school for a reason. Just they use Enid to get to KO so they can test KO's power against these. I have a feeling these honor students are probably guinea pigs for probably maybe giving these power-ups to villains in the future.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. So back to just with the well, with the characters, actually, I think my personal favorite is Chip Damage, just because like he's actually a little bit more interesting than in his previous appearance.
I would not have expected this, Alex. This is a hot take for sure.
It's probably a bit of a hot take, but like I think in his first appearance he was very bland and all. Like here, like you give him a dark side, so like it explains a bit of things about why he's got this very shiny front-facing image, and like in the back he's just like from the sidelines just glowing his eyes randomly. Like it's dark. I like it.
Yeah,
I don't have much of a justification for this.
And also he's voiced by Kurt Angle, so you got another reason.
Yeah, if only I followed WWE to appreciate that, but now Steve.
First, if you can't trust a pro wrestler to be loyal to one side and never change sides, who can you trust? Right?
That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
Character
Steve.
Is?
Yeah, let's go to your corner.
Well,
please praise your character.
Elodie, man. Elodie, man. She's awesome, and she's very interesting from her introduction because I did think there's a lot of depth to her character in terms of, she definitely wants power, she wants prestige, she wants the fame and all, but she does care about Enid. I do feel deep down she wants to be a good hero. I don't think it's completely ego-driven. And I do think, though, Chip probably did prey on her little weakness right there. And and I was right. She did regret what she did long ago. I don't know why she did that.
You finally got your Elodie redemption, eh?
Yeah, redemption. Yep. Well, for now, though, I'm worried, though, with her being sort of hopped up on superhero steroids. That
on Glorbs, yeah.
Though, and I do have a feeling, though, maybe not this arc, but maybe if you want the ultimate redemption, turn her around, that maybe she might sacrifice her powers to save Enid. That'd be kind of a good moment in terms of completely being a 180 on her character from the flashback. And they have beautiful moments together. Oh man, I'm waiting though. I want that episode with Red Action and Elodie come face to face, and let's just have I'm not saying a love triangle, but in terms of how like you make a new friend, but you have your old friends, and you kind of see if they could get along, that's also relatable, right?
That's true. I feel like they get along. They're all super powerful, so they can relate on that level.
And I think, what's the guy's name that you got your character? Speed?
Sparko?
Sparko, yeah, Sparko. Well, I feel he's like a Scooby-Doo villain. I think Elodie is like the perfect red herring. She's the character I think maybe in the finale we're going to build up in terms of suspecting that she's going to go down the wrong path. She's going to be the one to go down the darkness path. And then at the last minute, they're just going to, have the ultimate, she's going to overcome that. So here's hoping, right?
You're already preparing to defend Elodie in future episodes. Good for you. Michelle, how do you feel about the Elodie Enid relationship here? You think we patched it up too fast?
A little bit. I mean, the thing that really threw me was in Bittersweet Rivals when they get to that third competition and they're like climbing the ropes, and then Enid falls and Elodie goes and saves her. I was kind of like, wait, what? We haven't really seen a lot of seemingly conflict over this from Elodie's side. We know that she kept the necklace, but that's kind of about it. And she just gives her this huge apology. He's like, like I thought it was enough, but it like wasn't. So like I'm gonna save you right now, and like a view of the finish line would have been better, but like I don't regret my choice. And like I want to believe all that, but it felt like such a quick flip, without a ton of build up that I was a little like, what? But seeing them together is magical. So I want to support it and believe that it's for real, but I have like a little bit of a suspicion maybe something else is going on.
Well, I do think probably if Elodie was more of a regular character, they probably would have stretched this out more. So, as much as I love Elodie, I do feel though once this arc is over, we might not see her for a bit. So, who knows? But I think they're setting her up for something bigger because she's an important character, man. She's one of the brainwashed kids, so she's sort of one of the villains in this arc, even though she might be mind controlled. So. She's an important character, so I was right about that. Elodie is
an important character after having disappeared for almost an entire season.
If she's going to be more prominent, maybe as prominent as Red Action, which isn't that prominent, but it's like one of those you bring back that everyone loves every once in a while.
Yeah,
right.
And you could say the same thing because you're not on the show enough. Same thing with Laser Blast. We all kind of agree he's kind of important too, and he's only been in one episode, so...
Okay, that's actually important to like the story. No, but I agree that Elodie
plot reasons,
Elodie in this context is important. I agree, and I think that once we get to a finale, she's probably going to have some kind of role, if not a large role, in that. But yeah, like with me with the Elodie Enid stuff, I actually didn't even notice her putting away the necklace until the second time I watched.
Oh,
so like, there was even less build up for me. Like at the end, it's like a snap and you miss it sort of thing. That little thing.
Well, that's been her character since like her debut episode. They made little mentions of her, like when he went to Enid's parents' house.
She's looking at the necklace also.
Oh, like that. Yeah. Or like that Rad. Or like the second date episode, or the she made a little cameo there, or the episode when we met Enid's parents. You got to mention there. So those were blink and you missed it moments.
That's true. But fortunately, we had our Elodie expert here to always highlight them for us. So thank you for that. That was a very strong help.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to highlight in that Bittersweet Rivals episode, there's the moment where they're practicing their character intros or whatever, and we have like Enid coming down. It's like, I'm always loyal, and like, what about you?
Yeah.
So I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if that's possibly a moment where like Elodie kind of got woken up or something, like from there's where she realizes. So I should be regretting some stuff here.
That's a good point, because she does have a line when they're climbing the ropes, where she's like, "Yeah, I thought all you wanted was like the prestige and like to get in, and you have that. So I'm like very confused. Like, do you want to be my friend or not?" And that could also be another moment when Elodie's kind of like, "Oh, wow, okay." Yeah. I want this?
Yeah, and I still think she threw away that friendship for nothing, because when that point per competition they were enrolled, first of all, she didn't. I don't believe she cheated. I think she just was very aggressive. She won. She could have just shook her hand. She didn't have to go in that whole like evil speech last time. I don't know what happened there. I wonder.
My theory with Elodie is she might not have ever really had a real connection to somebody on a deep friendship level before Elodie. Or, oh my god, I keep saying Elodie instead of Enid. Until Enid.
For Enid. E for Elodie.
I know. Foxtail doesn't help this at all. But the issue is, like, so she realized that Enid was really good at fighting. She has this, like, one dream to be a hero. She's like, okay, I gotta, like, hang out with this girl and, like, lie to her because that's, what I'm good at. And they do that. And then they start bonding, and she, like, actually does feel very close to her. And, like, she gets her first real taste of friendship, and after, like, she is gonna still stab her in the back to get what she wants, because that's what she's probably done to get most things until that point. But it's always been like that one huge regret she's had up till this point.
So essentially, she's the Lana of this show. So, Alina of this show.
I don't know. I don't.
DuckTales?
Yeah, similar thing. Like,
is it though?
Maybe,
No,
but
they have very different motivations. I
Yeah.
feel like Elodie's
it was-
very ambitious,
Yeah,
and
I
Lena
kinda
is
wanna-
trying to get out of like someone
Yeah.
else's control.
Yeah, but I do want to still introduce though. I do want to meet Elodie's family. I kind of wonder if there's a lot of pressure from her family. Like she does come from
I'm
this
wondering
great,
that too. Yeah,
And
like
that's
where's
why-
this pressure coming from to be perfect?
and that's why she kind of did what she did. Like I said, it's very interesting. She's a very complex character. That's why I like about her. She's not one dimensionally like good or evil. She has a lot of shade of gray in this character in a show which technically not really supposed to. It's most of the characters on the show are on one side, the side of good, or the side of evil. So
I mean, and I do
Right.
agree. Like, I think the thing with Elodie is she's been set up to be a kind of person who can get better and do better, and needs to just like unlearn some of the like problematic ways she's dealt with people in the past. Like, you have that moment when K.O. and Rad are doing the sleepover in their room, and she just kind of turns on K.O. and is like, "What makes you think you can come to Point Prep and that you can be a hero? We only accept the best for a reason."
yeah.
And it's like such a quick moment, and Enid gets really upset, like rightfully about it. But it makes you wonder, like, did Elodie grow up hearing that kind of rhetoric from
Yeah,
someone,
that's what I'm
and
thinking.
she's internalized it? So
Yeah.
there are questions there for
and
sure.
that kind of makes it possible like character development way more realistic in terms of it's not all going to come at once. She's going to take some steps back, some steps forward. That's how it works in real life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that no matter what she, hopefully, if she's still a good guy at the end of this arc, she definitely needs a apology for KO. Even though even though maybe Chip,
Okay, was a sweet boy.
Even
Yeah,
though-
he did
yeah,
nothing wrong.
even though maybe the whole steroids might have played a part in it, still.
Well, see, that's actually an interesting angle, right? Like, what if it's
Mhm.
actually this exposure that's also like continuing to make her a bit more aggro?
Yeah, and still, I'm the one who want to know is this in the what's the last episode's name? Miss
Sleepover
Sleepover
thing?
Mystery. Yeah.
Yeah, Sleepover
And
Mystery.
for me, I noticed though. I keep forgetting the guy's name.
Sparko?
Sparko. Yeah. I know his
He looks like a spark plug.
That's
His
how you
name is
remember.
Sparko.
Sparko.
They're not trying that hard.
Sparko, I noticed he had definitely a very different personality in that episode opposed to all the early episodes. He seemed to me a lot more arrogant, a little more full of himself. So that's why I'm worried about him, because I do think that power-ups are affecting not just their powers, but their personalities.
Yeah, like steroids.
Yeah, steroids or drugs.
Yeah.
And it can be a metaphor, because we had a gun metaphor in
sure.
the past, so we can have steroids metaphors or drugs in general metaphors.
So it's literally power corrupting.
Yeah. I have a question though. So there was a moment in the football episode at the end after Chip Damage, took control of Sparko and got him to win, where Chip Damage walks over and he seems to exchange a look with Foxtail, as if to say in that look, like, I fixed the thing. We're still on top. Like, our school's gonna be fine. And then you have that moment in the mystery sleepover where is it Grayman? Is he the other professor?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he's the one
So
talking to Sparko.
He's the one talking to Sparko. He's the one who seems to like definitely be out of the loop on this Glorb secret power thing going on. But do you think Foxtail's involved and that she knows about it and supports it?
I don't know. The way I see
I
it,
think
though,
she might.
well, the thing is maybe, but the way I think Chip's endgame is, I think it kind of goes against that, because I think Foxtail is like the principal of the school and Chip's like the second in command. So I figured his plan is to have like a mutiny to get Foxtail out of the way and become like the head of Point Prep.
I'd like to correct you on that, because actually the titles they show is that Foxtail is just in charge of the strength discipline and
Didn't
Chip
just
Damage
say-
is the
Just like
dean.
coach.
But didn't it say
Yeah.
president of the school too? I heard.
No, that they call Chip Damage dean of students. So I'm pretty sure that Chip Damage is higher ranking here.
Okay, but I do think dean of students is like second in command. There's one rank higher than him. I think he's trying to get to.
All right. I'm actually wondering if Grayman. I feel like he is in the loop because, like, why is Chip Damage? Why is Chip Damage there?
So,
and like he sneaks out from the shadows when he says, like, we have to do something about this. And Chip is like, I agree, but like, why is Chip there then in the middle of the night with Grayman?
So, are you on board that Chip is around? Are you on board on the Chip is a robot theory that maybe Grayman is the one that's controlling him?
I don't think Grayman. You guys are hating on Grayman, but he's given us no reason to think he's in on the shady stuff. He's trying to help Sparko. He's the only one who was like, "Hey, like I noticed you're acting weird. What's going on with you?" And Sparko's like, "Oh, I'm great. I feel awesome." And he's like, "No."
But that was weird. Also he has reason because he lost his powers. So like, it sort of makes sense.
So he's hypersensitive to it,
and though that would add more to the reveal if he was behind it, the more of shock if that does happen, like because he seems so innocent. I do think there's a mastermind ahead of Chip. I think in the next like 1 or 2 episodes, there's going to be a big reveal at so and so was like the true like mastermind of this, and Chip is just like a lackey or even just a robot in all this. So.
I do agree. Chip Damage probably either he's really good at pretending he's dumb, or he actually is dumb, and somebody else is, pulling the strings behind him.
Could be fake.
Someone just showed up like an Herbalife salesman. It's like, hey, look, here are these globes. They'll help your students do better.
Oh, really? Awesome! Thank you.
So, like, getting in, now that we've covered, like, the major story, I guess we can just, like, jump in and out of, like, other smaller stuff in these episodes. We begin with the special delivery, and this gives the whole, like, delivering a package, and so Rad needed to go on an adventure here. Various things, including dissing Rad's musical taste, but also dissing his digestive system. He has tried eating atomic stuff and failed and blown up a lot.
He drank out of a volcano too, didn't he? In one of those. Yeah, it's pretty extreme.
Yeah, well, that's not really opinion. That's just fact. If his digestive system can't handle it, Enid's maybe not wrong to call him out on that. It's not the same as dissing someone's musical taste.
Yeah, I think she's probably the most justified in not letting him get the food. But, I mean, he could have eaten it outside, and they could have waited. I guess it depends.
You just need to be near a bathroom, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it turns out they're actually delivering a package with a photo album, and like, Mr. Gar is the one who is at the door. It's like, the real delivery was the memories you made along the way.
I know someone in Discord is going to love that.
If you want to understand that inside joke, please join our Discord at reallyanimated.com/Discord. But
how about
like Enid gives a Rad a giant hug at the end, and I'm sorry. We understand that this is strong for their friendship, but does anybody still like actually ship them, or
that's something I go back and forth on a lot? But I keep going back to second first date where they just hammer home like, oh, like platonic love is a powerful thing. So like maybe really long term, but for now it seems like they're very happy being friends.
I'm more on the team.
I want to support their friendship.
I'm more on the team Rad Shannon team.
Ooh, I could go for some more Red Shannon also, honestly. Yeah.
But by the way, this episode batch was fully lacking in any bots more robots.
Well, we had
true.
We had a Daryl appearance, kind of, in Bittersweet, right?
Yeah, in its imagination.
You know what? Also, one thing it lacked that made the episode pop. I'll tell you what it is. Starts with a capital D, an E, an N, a D, a Y. What does it spell?
Oh yeah, no dandy. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot because it was so good on its own.
Yeah.
We managed to survive 5 episodes without dandy. Amazing.
Yeah, that's good job, us. All things considered.
Well, I think this just highlights how like these were all 5 good episodes.
Exactly.
We weren't craving Dendy to make stuff better for us.
Yeah, but Dendy just makes things better no matter what. But can you comment one more little detail on on the second episode,
okay, we can move over to wisdom, strength, and charisma.
When Enid leaves with Point Prep and how like attached K.O. and Rad are, and especially K.O.'s relationship with Enid, it's like it kind of reminds me of like your little sister, your big sister going away to school, either like boarding school or college. It's so cute. With K.O.
The K.O. Enid relationship was especially strong in the second episode. It's very, very cute, and also just like the well intentions, like him popping out of the backpack. It's like, hey, I have your indigestion pills.
Yeah. So bad.
It's like bad in public, but like you understand why K.O.
just
like hell.
He thinks he's helping. You can't really be mad at him.
Trying to do his best.
Yeah. And I love you as he gets thrown out of the bus.
Yeah.
And I do question: are they in space, like going to another dimension? How does this world work?
I wonder. Yeah, they're going through like a wormhole to get to Point Prep.
Floating in the air somewhere. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe they're just using like faster than light technology or something
to get there.
Just to get them faster, but it's still here on the same planet. Who even knows if liquid plasma turbo's on Earth? Like, is it?
Probably not. I mean, they have pterodactyls in the sky.
Yeah. In this episode, we're introduced to the three disciplines. We have wisdom, where Sparko is, and Percival is the cat one, I think.
Yeah.
Strength is Phoebe, the one with the helmet. We mentioned Demon Queenie earlier, and Beaky, the bird.
Oh, Beaky! I love Beaky, man.
You love Beaky?
Especially in the next episode. No, 2 episodes from now, the Let's Play Megafootball episode.
She's really good in that.
Another reference there is SpongeBob, right? Because that's pretty much the SpongeBob episode where they blow up the plastic arms. But Beaky is a fraud. Charisma.
she got anchor arms.
She really needs to see Chip Damage of getting some power-ups.
Yeah, why doesn't she get the power-ups? Or did Chip Damage know that Beaky was a fraud?
Maybe Chip Damage only picks people who are fairly corruptible by nature anyway. Maybe that's part of it. Like, you need a little insecurity to be someone he picks.
And
maybe he's pretty secure as a person.
Perhaps down the line, his plan was eventually to kind of get Enid to join his little secret club.
He's the one who recruited her to Point Prep. That's absolutely part of his plan.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's Enid's way in, like to play along with it and like figure out where it's going or something.
Hey,
that could happen.
Hey, what if perhaps Elodie's sort of in on terms of recruiting Enid to this? It could be the same thing as in the past, that at first maybe it's part of some larger plan, but she does care about her. And
I feel like she might want to protect her from it, honestly. Yeah. If she has any understanding that it might be sketchy, even though she's already in it.
But she thinks it's good. I guess she keeps taking it. So.
She thinks it's good for her, but she might know it's subjectively not great for most people.
Yeah, because like she's keeping it hidden from Enid anyway. Like Enid tries to ask, and it's like, nah, it's just a class. Don't worry about it.
Actually, she's already kind of keeping her away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we get introduced to these disciplines, including Elodie, where displayed there as like the queen of the
and
charisma place.
Koala and Miss Pastel. I love those two. People are shipping them.
I mean, they're very they're very close together.
And like I said in Discord, Elodie is kind of like Diana Cavendish, and these two, they're much nicer than Hannah and Barbara. So.
I don't know who these people are. Hannah and Barbara.
That's a little wish academia.
Yeah. See, it's an animation joke. But actually, like in the next episode, like the Koala Princess is like sleeping on Miss Pastel's arm, and like
Can we just say, canon?
Miss Pastel uses Koala Princess as an actual koala pet. So like,
she introduces her as her pet.
Can we just say their relationship is canon? Their romantic relationship. It's not.
I think their friendship is canon.
And I do think
friendship.
I do think it's a very strong ship candidate for sure.
And I do think I can't believe I brought this up before, but they have the same sort of backstory as Enid and Elodie. Only them didn't like end in like a bad way. So they represent what Enid and Elodie could have been today if things didn't go down that bad road in the past.
That's also the thing, though, when I say that, Enid might have been the only person that Elodie ever considered a real friend. Because when they talk about how they got to know Elodie, they got to know her because she was already a big deal. She was really, like, popular, well-known. And they act more like minions than as friends, Like, I feel like there's still, like, some intimacy barriers between them and Elodie that I think Enid potentially has been able to cross. So, yeah. This strengthens my theory that Enid might have been her only, like, as close to a legit friend as Elodie's ever had.
Yeah.
And that's why Elodie doesn't know how to act around her.
She doesn't know what to do, but she, like, deep down, she, like, knows she, like, really messed up.
Yeah.
Now, like, in the rest of that episode, like, the reason I'm going to these disciplines is just, like, introduce, we had the leaders of the disciplines are Dr. Grayman, we've talked about him, Foxtail, we've talked about him. We haven't talked about Sunshine, really. She's the leader of Charisma. She's like a cloud lady. Any thoughts?
Oh,
she's fascinating.
She's awesome. She'd be even more of a shock if she actually is the mastermind of this, even more than the,
Yeah, we haven't really talked about her involvement.
But she's so perky and so nice that.
But also not at night when she's freezing the hallways and looking for people stealing food.
Yeah, but it would be awesome though if there's like another evil side to her. If she's like, if that would be awesome. If she has like a whole different like not only different personality but a different form. It'd be like. She's like darkness or she's thunder or something.
Well, in that opening trial scene, like, she's basically just a thundercloud.
Yeah, she's like both kinds of cloud. She can be like sunny with clouds or like lightning with clouds.
Yeah. Also, like, Enid interrupts her class at some point.
Yeah, she gets super
just,
mad.
Like, shocks her with a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, we could have used... Enid could have used Dendi because she has experiences dealing with evil teachers, so... and KO as well.
The thing is, though, this is Enid's arc, and Dendi is KO's friend, not really her friend.
No, I'm just talking about...
that's why Dendi hasn't been in it.
I'm talking about the evil teacher,
Sure, but yeah, Dendi doesn't really have a place here. Maybe in the Rad arc.
Maybe in the Rad. Yeah, she can creep on Rad. No one's going to stop her from achieving that goal.
Also, I just want to point out that Sunshine, who is a new character, is voiced by Melanie Chartroff, who most people will know as Dee Dee from Rugrats, so Tommy's mom. Like, I didn't know she was still around.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't that long ago. She still got a
I mean, Rugrats is a while ago.
Well, I remember her from Friday, so that's even longer ago. And also, she was also on Seinfeld, so I remember that too.
Of course, she's had a fun career. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Fridays. That was a name I liked.
And by the way, you should Google Fridays Andy Kaufman. You'll find something very interesting there.
Interesting is one of those words where I feel like people use it when they don't know how to say something's like good. So
no, it's good. It's good. It's
okay.
It's just like historic television moments. It's.
All right.
Okay.
We'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
I might put maybe if I can find a clip. I might post that in the Discord, the adult portion of Discord.
Warning, that's an adult. You gotta put that up front, man.
Not safe. It's a late night sketch comedy show, so of course
not safe for work. Then, all right. Yeah. Apparently, Sunshine has done not safe for work in her past.
Cloudy past.
Let's see here. In the Bittersweet Rivals, I guess just one moment we sort of touched upon, but like Grayman puts this pop quiz, and the Enid is imagining the whole Daryl like taking care of KO thing. I thought that sequence was pretty nice. Like,
I'm innocent.
She thinks your problems makes total sense.
So her logic little out of date. Boxman hiding in the bushes. He's not the boss anymore. Daryl is the new daddy. So.
Well, it's about the principle, you know?
Yeah, Boxman's been doing it longer, so... Yeah.
And also, you guys probably missed the best part, maybe, of Enid being late and how she got there. Obviously...
Oh, she had the Pop-Tart in her mouth.
Yeah, no, we did not miss the anime run to school.
Yeah, I have not watched very much anime, and even I recognize the anime trope there. Also, we've talked about the Enid Elodie relationship, but like just that scene where they're swinging to a safe place and they go by the sunset and they're holding each other. If you ship them, I imagine that's like the hallmark moment there.
Yeah.
I watched the moment when Elodie like slips into Enid's arms like 3 or 4 times when I first. Just because it looks so good, and it was like, oh, I was not expecting this, but okay.
Yeah, and it's a pretty background.
Yeah.
Don't forget the people who made this show also probably made Steven Universe, so they know what's up.
At least Ian does for sure.
We've barely talked about this Megafootball episode.
It was a fun one. We should talk about it.
It's a good, it's good like breather, like a comedy episode in terms of after all this intensity, you know.
It's how I think about sports that I don't follow. I was like trying to understand how that game worked. I was like, yeah, this feels like watching normal football. 100%. True for me.
I was just like, there's way too much business going on here with this field. There's like, there's like trampolines and there's like bear traps. And there's a saw somewhere.
I just love Geek though. It's just.
Steve already mentioned the Little Witch Academia reference in
by the way,
in
if
the
you guys
whole pep
saw the
rally.
show, who would be on the Luna Nova team, this 3-person football game? I think it would be Amanda, Jasmika, and Costanza. The green team would be the rep for Luna Nova. And as for from Adventure Academy, I don't really know. It could be anyone. Anyone of the
Has anyone watched a second of Mighty Magiswords? Be honest.
I've seen it a little bit.
Like I feel like that's a show that exists.
It's
but
okay, but I don't remember the character's name.
I think it might have only had 1 season, which makes it even sadder.
No, this is season 2. This is season 2.
Oh, is there?
One thing they added to season 2 at the end of each episode, they have an anime bumper. So.
All right. Well, that's a connection between them and Little Witch Academia, I guess.
That's even farther removed from OKKO.
Yeah. It's mentioned that Radicles joined the Lakewood team because he dared Beaver to eat a firework.
That checks out. That sounds about right for Rad.
But I wanted to highlight that because I do think that in this group of episodes, I feel like they did more cutaway jokes than they used to, and like it's actually pretty good every time they do a cutaway. It seems to be only with Rad that they do that, but it's always funny when they just like go like 5 seconds of like, what's Rad doing at this time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I think also in the one of the wisdom, strength, and charisma, they just like Enid is like, oh, you gotta go take care of Rad, and they just cut away to Rad on the floor. It's like, I dropped coffee on myself.
I know he said I burned my mouth on my cocoa. Like someone could have me on the floor. That I really wanted to like use that for like the menus I do at work, but it was too short, and I was really mad because it's a great isolated moment. It's just like his utter helplessness.
Yeah, it was tragic, and with lighting too, it's like very dark blue.
And the way he's talking, it reminds me like again when Enid was first leaving, and he's like glommed onto her. He's like, "Don't go."
Maybe this is why Rad likes making movies, because he's just very tragic.
We forgot the movie at the.
He's very dramatic.
We didn't mention the movie KO made in before Enid left for school. Man, that was so awesome.
Rad. Really cool. They got a higher budget, it seems, on costumes at least.
Yeah, Rad used a lot of barcodes to like dress himself. But I liked Enid's outfits. It looked pretty cool.
And KO's, he had like a little suit on. It was very nice.
Yeah. And in this football game, I guess Enid and Rad like goof off because it's the first time that Enid and Rad and KO have been together again. So like they're happy, but then Enid scores an own goal. If you watch the World Cup, own goals are pretty much in right now. So I enjoyed that.
They're in style. They're in fashion.
Yeah, they're in style to like score on your own side. You know, like it's kind of popular right now. For reference, Michelle, I don't think has watched a single second of soccer, so she won't get that.
Absolutely not. But for those out there who do, good.
So someone will get that.
Yeah.
So Sparko goes insane because he gets activated by a chip damage as part of the whole gifted program. he scores infinitely, which I don't think works in sports.
That's cheating, but this is Megafootball, so who knows what the rules are?
I guess. But then he gets chip damage. It goes on to deactivate him mid-air, which is pretty heartless.
Yeah, that's kind of cruel.
Yeah, but he wanted to win. Had to win.
But, like, couldn't you win and keep him alive? Like, what happens if Enid doesn't jump in to save him from the fall?
Yeah.
But
and by the way, anyone, just me, like, when you saw Bittersweet Rivals, watched it the second time, noticed Chip's eyes? Like,
I noticed it the second time.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know the first time, too. I was just paying attention to the Enid and Elodie stuff, so... But even at the end of that episode, I'm like, Elodie is hiding something. There's a secret. She's hiding something. And then they answer the question in the next episode. I guess they continue it. That definitely something's weird going on at this school. Nothing kosher here.
Yeah, because the Elodie glowing eyes thing, I think at first it's like played as like Elodie having a new power or something, and then like
then you see Chip in the background.
Well, and then you see the Megafootball episode where he's more obvious about it.
Yeah.
Then we wrap up this batch with a mystery sleepover. Where Rad and K.O. sneak in as pizza deliveries, I guess. Also, like, Elodie and Enid are having this sleepover, but they sleep with each other all the time.
That's so cute. That's so cute, though. But
like doing each other's nails and getting pizza. It's a great time.
I'm sure it's a nostalgia. I'm sure they've done that many times in the past. They even mention it. So it's like, and I do think the whole K.O. with the whole pizza thing in his face, that was so cute.
I like that Enid's first thought is to check inside the pizza box for K.O.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's just pizza in here.
Yeah, but Enid expresses her doubts about the school, and she's like, I can handle it on my own. And K.O.'s like, well, duh, but you don't have to.
Yeah,
I thought that was very sweet.
It's very sweet. I will say, both Rad and K.O. have been, like, so supportive and just, like, awesome about Enid going to Point Prep. Yeah. They're true friends.
Yeah, I think these episodes do a really good job of, like, just highlighting, like, these are the main characters, and, like, together, that they're a huge part of why OKKO works. Yeah. It's just that they're all likable together. Yeah. Rad on his own is, like, another story, but, like, when they all hang out together, it's just nice to see them interact.
This is normally how these character arcs in Teen Titans go. They focus on one character, but in the climax, the whole team comes together to solve the conflict, so... And I think I do think the next episode is going to be half hour. They're going to wrap this up in a half hour special. At least I hope. And you never know. We might also see Mr. Gar. We might see Carol, since they have connections to Point. So if this is a big Point conspiracy, and especially if K.O.'s dad is involved in this somehow.
Yeah, I do think Mr. Gar is going to find out, because we do get that previous episode when we first meet Chip Damage, when Foxdale and Mr. Gar are really not cool with each other anymore, which is like fascinating. Like, how did that falling out happen? So if they're going to tell somebody about the weirdness going on at Point Prep, Mr. Gar is the person to tell. Of
all the teachers, though, I think Foxdale is the least likely to be like the villain, because they make her personality so like strong in one direction that it's just, she seems like an obvious red herring type of character.
Okay, interesting putting her at least more than Sunshine, but I guess I can see that reasoning, actually. Like, it's just a bit too obvious. But yeah, like, we do end here on this sort of cliffhanger thing. And, like, my personal thing is, I don't know if the next episode is immediately going to follow up on this. Like, it would be nice to get immediate stuff.
How could it not? They're all
Unless
there.
Unless they air it out of order, like, I'm pretty sure it will be part of the arc. Because, like, even the ending's different, right? Like, it's not the normal OKKO ending. It's like on special, like, school paper with different music. So, like, it seems like a very, like, it's a serialized arc. So I don't think they would just leave us hanging like this.
No.
Unless I'm keeping my expectations low, but it would be nice.
Unless they cut back to Lakeview and see what all the other characters are doing. Maybe that could be a Dendy-centric episode of seeing what everyone's doing while KO and the others are away.
See, yeah, like that's something I could expect out of OKKO is like to them just like go check on the other characters. Like,
yeah, and then like
wrap up the mystery. Like selfishly, I just like want to know.
And then Mr. Gar, and then Mr. Gar's like, I think something might be up at Point Prep. So, and that sets up the finale to this arc.
Yeah, I also feel like Enid has to be the one to instigate it because, like, it's her arc and it's at Point Prep and it's like following her. So I don't think like Mr. Gar is gonna just like suddenly think something's going on weird.
Speaking of which, though, I do think obviously we're going to get an Enid Elodie fight, a real fight here because Elodie is sort of, I guess, possessed by Chip, has power. So I'm hoping they'll have like a nice epic fight, and maybe Enid will finally defeat her, and maybe the fight will end with her saying, "I love you," and
that's saved for the fan fiction.
Yeah, this has been Steve's fanfiction corner. If you would like to go find his account, go search on.
Not to rain on your parade, Steve, but I think it's pretty clear Enid's already taken by Red Action.
Yeah. Well,
not going to the future for her. If that's not a declaration of feelings, I don't know what is.
Well, we'll see. I do think, though, like I said, I do think these students, these honor students, definitely are going to be enemies in this climax, and we're going to have to fight them to get them back to their senses. Because I do think Chip has control of them. He could just make them do anything he wants at any time. So we're going to have to fight them. So we're going to get.
It does seem like Chip only uses his power when the kids are in a competition for school, though. So far, that's been true.
You never know. He might just take it up a notch. And my prediction matchup, definitely Enid and Elodie, definitely going to have a go. I think Rad and Sparko might have a go here. Or it could be KO versus Sparko. I do wonder who
I think we've talked a lot about the theories for what's gonna happen, but we'll be ending up seeing how this develops whenever the next OKKO episodes air, if we continue on with this arc. But just to begin wrapping up here, like of these 5 episodes, what would you say is your favorite of these 5?
You all know my answer,
Michelle?
so.
Okay, well let's go to you, Steve.
Obviously, Bittersweet Rival's my favorite. Obviously.
Just because Elodie.
Yes.
Just because Elodie.
No, Mystery Sleepover was fun too. So if it's just on plot, Mystery Sleepover was definitely the most plotting one that got me more excited. So.
Okay, Bittersweet Rival is one you enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
Michelle, you?
I was really. This is so hard. You guys, they're all really good. I do think Bittersweet Rivals and Wisdom, Strength, and Charisma were standouts for the arc. But because we had Special Delivery just like hanging out with this bomb of episodes, I can't deny that like it was also a really great episode. We did not mention also that there were like really great Mad Max Fury Road homages like going in on that episode towards the end, which were great and they were animated so wacky and I love them a lot. But I think it's like a. Okay, if I like had to pick
are you gonna go for a 3-way tie in 5 episodes?
I always do that, but I won't do this time. I'm trying to be stronger. I will choose Wisdom, Strength, and Charisma because this sets out like a lot of like her Enid's insecurities going in about like is she gonna measure up, not doing well under pressure, and then like finding her place and not knowing where she stands with Elodie, but like being willing to like fight again another day and just like follow her dreams. And I think that's awesome. So I chouse that one.
Well, I'm going to go all in where you couldn't. I think Special Delivery is the best episode of this batch.
I didn't even know you liked that one that much.
Well, I really enjoy the Rad Enid stuff. It's not very relatable. It's down to earth. It's not like while the story of the whole Point Prep stuff is nice, but like I also enjoy just when characters get to hang out and like do things, and but also like it develops in a way where like Rad and Enid's issues are like coming out naturally, and Enid finally gets to be heartfelt, which is something we don't really get that often, so I enjoy that as well. And the ending is just so sweet with them like hugging each other. So like it probably one of these other episodes are objectively better in terms of like how of their story and stuff. But like Special Delivery is the one that hit me the hardest. I know how you with that one.
I know how you feel. I know how you feel. My episode being objectively better than your favorite, because I still say my favorite episode of all time is still Okay, Dendy. That's still like my favorite of all time, even though I know there are better
Go to
episodes.
his grave with that.
We watched that episode like the most of all the episodes.
You'd be like 95. Steve, it's your deathbed. What? To tell us though, like, have your opinion changed? What's your favorite KO episode? And be like, it's okay, Dendy. You knew. Don't ask me again. It's never changing.
Hopefully the Dendy fan club here can have an episode to actually talk about Dendy more in the next batch, perhaps. But we got a break, and we maybe a deserved one after so much Dendy in this show.
Yeah.
But until we get more OKKO episodes, you can always find out whenever we cover this show at overlyanimated.com. You can join us on Discord, as we mentioned earlier, if you want to chat with us about OKKO or any other animated show we cover. At overlyanimated.com/Discord. You can perhaps share favorite episodes, favorite characters, or some maybe even more far out theories than what Steve has presented. It's possible. You can support us financially via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Hope, aka Katara. Thanks as always to our Patreon executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, Andy, and Hugh. Other than OKKO, we recently had a DuckTales podcast just come out last week.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Steven Universe very soon on this network.
About summer camp.
Summer Camp Island.
Oh, that's going to be massive, whoever does that.
Cartoon Network, as part of their best summer ever, is releasing a lot of their shows, so that gives us a lot to talk about.
So we want to wait long to see how this arc ends, hopefully.
Hopefully. As far as I can tell, there are no OKKO episodes scheduled as of yet.
Not for the next, month, probably.
I'm sure there'll be something in August.
Yeah, August is a possibility.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they decide to dangle another batch for us before the summer ends, hopefully. But stay tuned with us. So whenever we get more OKKO episodes, we'll be here to talk about them. But until then, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon. Adios.
Bye.
Bye.